Hello, Aries, and welcome to this, your February 2025 reading and predictions. Let's dive right in and see what's going on for you. How has 2025 been treating all of you guys? I know for me, I have been on a little bit of a roller coaster, so let's see what's coming up for you. For those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. Thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. My name is Marnie, also known as the Intuitive Butterfly. I am a psychic, a medium, a certified counselor, and I am also a certified hypnotherapist. I have more than 25 years experience. This is a general reading for all of the Aries out there, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If this doesn't resonate for you, it means that it is not your reading. Please take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Let's get started. You have the Knight of Cups, the Hermit, and the Three of Cups coming in for where you are at now. Now, the Knight of Cups, this funny character here is character who comes in and he brings gifts and good tidings. In some cases, he could almost be described as the type that comes flitting into your life and potentially love bombs. It is usually an indication of a new relationship or new love on the horizon. For those of you who are already in relationships, it can indicate a reinvigoration of your relationship, somebody trying to throw something new and spicy at you, trying to change the dynamics in your relationship. It's not surprising to actually see this card come up in the month of February, given that we do have Valentine's Day coming up, and a lot of people get a little crazy and romantic during that time. But the very next card that you have, Aries, is the Hermit. Now, the Hermit, and apparently some of my hair as well. Now, the Hermit is a card. I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure why these are not coming up as and coming into focus. Let me see if I move my lighting up here a little bit. Let's see. Now we're just washing it out a little bit. Anyway, there it goes. The Hermit. Okay. You have the Hermit right next to the Knight of Cups here, Aries. What the universe is essentially saying to you is that there's something coming in with regards to your personal romantic relationships with this Knight of Cups. For those who are single and seeking, it's an indication that there's some new romance coming charging towards you. Could be a love bombing situation, could be your knight in shining armor. And for those of you, like I said, in relationships, it could be that someone's throwing something spicy at you, try and change things up a little bit, change the dynamics, get a little bit more romantic for you. And the Hermit sitting right next to this Knight of Cups is asking you to make sure that you take the opportunity to move into a place of quiet contemplation and really get clear on exactly what it is that you want out of a romantic relationship during the month of February. There's I'm getting told to go into the law of attraction just very, very briefly. I know it's a buzzword, I know it's being overused, but let's just dive into it for just one quick moment here. With the law of attraction, we know that we create our own realities based on what we are thinking about. We draw that towards us. And these two cards coming out together to me is saying, in order for you to have the romantic relationship of your dreams, you're going to need to spend some time in quiet contemplation, getting really, really clear on exactly what it is you want to attract and what you want that relationship to look like. When you do that, the very next card that you have here, Aries, is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is a card of camaraderie. It's a card of friendship. It's a card that denotes that there is some kind of celebration. There is something to celebrate. So all of that is good news. But the only way to achieve this point of camaraderie and celebration and sense of community and move into this Three of Cups is to spend that time in quiet contemplation. Let's take a quick dive into what else you are looking at and focusing on during the month of February. For Aries, what else is Aries looking at for February? Is there anything else? Anything else? All right, so we just have one card that has jumped out. Let's take a look. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, new beginnings. New beginnings for you. Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, usually related to our sense of abundance. Now, the Pentacles is also referred to as the Ace of Coins. So a lot of people equate the Ace of Coins with new beginnings, specifically related to money and finances. But it can also be equated to abundance in general. Now, abundance, as we know, is also relationships. The relationships that we have, including with this Knight of Cups and this Three of Cups, the relationships that we have are also what keep us abundant. Okay, what is potentially standing in your way during the month of February? Challenges, difficult influences for Aries for February. Challenges and difficult influences for Aries. Okay. All right. First and foremost, we have the Three of Wands coming out. The Three of Wands is a card of being prepared to move forward. It's a card that comes immediately after the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about making decisions. The Three of Wands is, okay, decisions made. It is time to take action. It is time to put our thoughts and actions out into the world. It's time to be firm in our way of doing things. This sometimes can also be a card of boundaries, especially if it comes up in the location of difficult influences and challenges. It could indicate that things are on the verge of moving forward because this is in your difficult influences, Aries. It could be that you're holding yourself back out of fear, out of, oh my gosh, this is the unknown. I'm about to take this big step out into this new world, and eek, I've been hurt in the past, right? Knight of Cups, new relationships, changing dynamics in relationships, bringing new abundance into your life, be it new business opportunities, new financial opportunities, or new relationships, new friendships. Either way, if you're sitting in a place of fear, yeah, that's why you've got the Three of Wands coming up in your difficult influences. So what this card is actually saying is that during the month of February, don't allow your fear of the unknown to hold you back, because there's new opportunities out there that are being presented to you right now, Aries. The other card that you have in your difficult influences is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is a card of intuition, tapping into that divine feminine. And this is not about male versus female. This is about tapping into the divine feminine qualities of empathy, compassion, intuition, even going into that sixth sense of being psychic and being extremely intuitive. It is about tapping into the hidden, unseen world. Now, Aries, this came up in your difficult influences, and it's interesting here that you had the Hermit coming in, asking you to go into that place of quiet contemplation in order to get clarity on what it is that you want to manifest. And then in your difficult influences, you have the High Priestess. The High Priestess has the energy of, make sure you're listening to those butterflies in your stomach, or those knots in your stomach, or that twinge that you get in your back, or the little voice that comes in if you are clairaudient. However your intuition comes in, make sure that you are listening to that. And if you have to go into this place of the Hermit in order to be able to hear that voice, and many of us do, Here's the thing with intuition and psychic abilities. And as I mentioned, I've been doing this for more than 25 years. I've actually been doing it my whole life, but it wasn't until about 25 years ago that I really opened up and admitted not only to myself, but to the outside world that I really was in touch with some of the other senses that many people slough off. For the vast majority of people, they go through life so distracted, and it's even worse now than it was 50, 60, 70 years ago because of the internet and social media and the phones that we have, and all of these distractions are pulling us away from our high priestess and from our hermit. Okay. The vast majority of people on the planet really need to carve out hermit time in order to be able to get in touch with the high priestess within themselves, to get in touch with their own intuition. So Aries, I would encourage you during the month of February, this is in your challenges, which means that you're tempted to delve deeper into distractions than delving deeper into your intuition, despite the fact that you're being called towards delving into your intuition. I hope all of that made sense. Okay, let's reach over here and get a message from the universe regarding this potential romantic relationship, regarding not being as intuitive as you should be. Okay. Yeah. Remember what I said, that this card can be about boundaries. This Three of Wands that you had come up in your difficult influences, it can be about boundaries. And you're also being called towards the hermit, get clear on your intentions, and yet you're being challenged by not listening to your intuition. Well, you've got two messages from the universe. Do not relinquish your power and release toxic relationships. Do not relinquish your power and release toxic relationships. Aries, I feel like for some of you, this is about setting new boundaries in your relationship. For some of you, it's a changing dynamic in your relationships. And for some of you, it's about having recently walked away from something that was toxic and no longer serving your highest good. And the universe is now opening up for something brand new to come into you. But unless you're really clear on what it is that you want, you're going to end up back in this kind of negativity and situation. And that is why you're being called to the hermit and the high priestess at this time. Get clear on what you want in your relationships. What does your relationship look like? What is the balance dynamic happening in the relationship? Is it balanced? Focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. Yeah. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on the past. The past is gone. You cannot repeat the past. Okay? Don't relinquish your power either. Focus on the positive, move forward, get clarity on exactly what it is that you want. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming. All right, we are going to be picking up this disaster of cards that came out because there's still more flipping out. Wow, there are a bunch of major arcana that came out as well. But we're going to throw everything back into this pile. And let's see what Aries does not see coming. What does Aries not see coming in February? Anything else? 1, 2, and 3. Queen of Pentacles, Death card, and Four of Cups. Yeah, stepping up and stepping into the divine feminine, the richness that is available to you. The Queen of Pentacles is also probably the most intuitive queen in the deck. She, in this particular deck, she is depicted as almost having antlers here. And whenever we see antlers depicted in the tarot, especially like animal tarot, if one of my very first tarot decks that I ever used was an animal tarot deck, and the characters in that deck that depicted the most intuitive were characters that had horns or antlers to signify their connection to the divine, their connection to the unseen world, their connection to intuition. And you have the Hermit, you have the High Priestess, and now you have the Queen of Pentacles here. And again, intuition represented by the twigs sticking out of her headpiece here, indicating her connection to the divine, the connection to the unseen, the energies that are surrounding us. You have the Death card here in What You Don't See Coming. This is the Death and Rebirth card. This is the card indicating that there is something that you need to leave behind in order to be able to move forward. Now, it may just be for those of you who are currently in romantic relationships, in secure romantic relationships, what you may need to just leave behind is a certain belief system, right? There are a lot of us that walk through life who have been hurt by unfaithful partners, and we therefore pick up the belief system that no one will ever be faithful to us. And if we're walking around with that belief system, that's the energy we're calling into ourselves, and our partner will eventually prove us right. So part of this reading, what I'm picking up for you, Aries, is that shift in belief system. For those of you who are single and seeking, there's an indication here that your Prince Charming is on his way into you. But until you release some old belief systems, until you sit and have that clarity on exactly what it is that you want, old patterns are going to bubble to the surface and repeat themselves. That's what this Death card is saying and What You Don't See Coming. You need to end old patterns and old belief systems in order to be able to move into something new. And you have the Four of Cups here. Four of Cups is a card of making decisions. It's a card, sometimes it is called the postponement card. It is sometimes called the card of, waiting for the next best thing to come along. But it's a card of make a decision with regards to what it is that you want. This whole reading, Aries, is all about you going deep within and gaining some much needed clarity on the relationships and what you want them to look like. The other thing that I'm going to have come up here, it's come up into my mind a couple of times and I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm going to mention it right now, is it's not just about the stuff that our partners can provide for us. Okay? It's about our partners supporting us emotionally, psychologically, physically. It's about the big picture. And if the only thing that we're looking at, this has come up because you do have the Ace of Pentacles here and you've got the Queen of Pentacles here. If the only thing you're looking at is what can my partner give me, without looking in the mirror, Aries, at what you can provide to your partner as well, then you're going to be going into something with an imbalanced relationship. So, Hermit, go into your intuition, go within, clear picture. High Priestess, intuition, go within, figure it out. Queen of Pentacles, figure it out. Find that balance between the give and the take. This is really interesting to me, Aries, because the fairy deck normally kicks out so many cards, and I have to shuffle all of the cards that it kicks out. And in this case, we have 1 and then 2 and 3. Let's take a look. Yeah, there is something that you need to walk away from because you've got the 7 of Swords as well as the 5 of Swords here. The 7 of Swords is a card of deception and deceit. Like I said already, if you carry around a belief system that all of your potential romantic partners are going to be practicing infidelity, then you're going to manifest that. That's part of what your work is in February, is recognizing what you bring to the table, what do they bring to the table, what belief systems are influencing that relationship from both sides. You have the 5 of Winter coming in. Walk away from dishonest associations. Okay. I'm going to read what it says on this card. I don't normally read what it says on the cards, but in the context, and I can't make this stuff up. Come on. I can't make this stuff up. This whole reading, we've been talking about a Prince Charming coming in, you needing to get really, really clear on what it is that you want so that you can manifest this perfect, amazing relationship with this 3 of Cups. And then you end up with a card that says, don't relinquish your power and release toxic relationships. You've got the Death card here. I've been saying you're going to have to tap into your intuition. And then in your outcome, you have a card that says right on it, realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness. You have to be clear on exactly what it is that you want, Aries. There is one more card in your reading, the last card in your reading, and it is the 10 of Autumn, also known as the 10 of Pentacles. This card is an extremely positive card. This is a card of saying, I know what I want for the future, and come hell or high water, I'm bloody well going to get it. This is a card of clarity for the future. This is a card of, I put money away in my 401k or my RRSP. I am prepared for the future. I have clarity. I know what I want in my relationships. My relationships are balanced and equal. And my life is in a good place. That is your outcome for February. But you've got some work to do, Aries, to get to this place, to get to this 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to leave off there. Please like and subscribe so that you'll receive a notification the next time that I either go live or the next time that I post a video. Thank you so much for being here and watching all the way to the end. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you.